Hello, this is Stephanie Toman, and this is about revising or practicing what you've learnt with the video-based learning. So if you sit and watch videos, if you're going to do the advanced presentation, in this case, presentation qualification, to sit and just watch the videos, I'm afraid, is not enough. You could have previous skill sets, which lots of us do. We have a multitude of different skills that we picked up from different areas. But the thing is that if you're learning something new, or changing the way that you've learned something in the past, in other words, there's a more efficient way of doing it, then unless you put it into practice, it may not come back to you. You may not be able to recall it in an exam or in the real world if you're working at work or on your dissertations or other assignment work. So you do need to practice it. Hence, there's a way of practicing. So you can see on this slide, we've got all the resources. This is all on the YouTube videos as well. So all of the resources will be everything you need to go along with the videos. This was the case for all of the advanced. So you can pick up those resources, you could open the same documents, PowerPoint slides or spreadsheets or workbooks, and go along with the way that it's being taught in small chunks. Then what you can do is go to the weekly revision practice paper, which is still in all resources, so all your learning and practice is all in the all learning resources, and you can look at those resources. There's a paper, there's work files to work from, and there's a solution paper as well. If you're still not sure about certain areas, there's an added little extra which is in this link here, and this link will show you the weekly revision practice videos, so it will show you what's expected from that question and how you go about doing the most efficient way of answering it. Because there's no one way of answering quite a lot of the IT task questions. So this should hopefully help you to understand how you approach all of the questions from 1 to 22. Okay, so first of all, make sure that we've got the right folder, and we're using the weekly revision folder, whether that's from Aula or been sent to you, or the W drive. So make sure you pick that, open it up. So we're going to look at the questions 14 and 15 under the multimedia. So remember that you are using the weekly revision paper, and we need to also use the weekly revision folder files. So we're going to open the diagram presentation. We're going to insert a movie file, CIA. I could place that at the bottom of the slide below the exam text, and make sure it plays automatically and then is run and loops under the show has stopped. So this is the sort of thing they may ask you in the exam. So we're going to open the files, open the diagram. Okay, so we want to place something at the bottom under here, and it's talking about the video. So if we go to the Insert tab, into the video area, and video on my PC. So this is the way it's going to be in the exam as well. You'll be using the Z drive to take from and to go to. So I'm just going to navigate to my files in my worktop, going on to my desktop, and it's in here, 227 weekly revision, into here, and there it is. So we're going to insert it. Make sure we click on it first. Just doing a bit of an upgrade to make it compatible. You shouldn't see that in the exam. Grab it. Oops. There we go. And drop it underneath the exam. So back to the paper. It said that we needed to make it play automatically and loop until the show is stopped. So we can do that through the playback tab. So there's a loop until it stopped, and with the other one was to, so the other part in the playback was so that it plays automatically. And there we go, drop that down and put that on. It talks about the volume being adjusted to medium. And then if we go back to the question, it also says about viewing the current slide, and so we're going to use a Shift F5. So you would still do that in the exam, and I'll just change my settings so you can see that that's happened. Then you can hit escape, and then you would go on to do a file save as. Always use the browse in the exam, and make sure that if you're changing a name you do, and if it's a save as type, what type you're saving it as, and also in the exam make sure it's in the Z drive at the top. So I'm not going to say that, but that's what you're going to be looking for in the exam. Now if we carry on, let's have a look at the second part. Now I know it's still dealing with the diagram presentation, otherwise I may have closed that, but I'll carry on. So it's asking us to apply the pulse emphasis animation to the smart art diagram, and it animates by object. So let's do that first. So it's the pulse emphasis. So let's click on the actual diagram, the smart art. Let's go to our animations, and we're looking for pulse. There's the pulse, there's the emphasis, so they click on the pulse. But it also said about something a little bit more, which was object one by one. Otherwise you've got all the other choices. So it said object by object, so we click on that. Back to our question, and it talks about inserting the sound growl into the top right of the slide. So that plays automatically 1 second after the exam shape is run. Okay, and then remove the video. So let's just do this fast. So we've got the diagram. We're going to insert a growl. So we need the audio. Obviously it's back in, it's going to be in the Z drive, but I've got it on my desktop. And into my desktop, into where I've got my thing, my files, and I'm looking for a growl, and there it is. You can double click and bring it in. And it wants the growl at the top. Right, so let's pop it up. Let's grab it properly, pop it up in the top right corner. And then back to the playback where it plays automatically like we did before. And then it's got about a second after. So if we go to the animations, while that's selected, this will apply to that sound. So the delay is going to be 1 second after the exam shape is run. So after previous is on, we've done that, and then we've done that, and then we delete this as the final part of the question. You see it there, remove the CIA from the slide and save and close. So then you would save and close. So that's questions 14 and 15 under the media section, and hopefully that'll cover a few things with regard to video and sound and how you can animate or control those things as well through animation. Okay, thank you.